Okay, hey everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome to this video. I'm doing a little studio tour of my little corner in my living room where I create my art. So the first thing that I want to show you guys is my easel. I keep, I got this easel for, I believe it was Christmas or my birthday, one of the two, I don't remember. But I usually always have something on the easel. Lately, it's been this painting because she is not finished. And so I'm trying to make sure that I want, the goal is to finish it. I was saying maybe by this weekend or maybe next weekend. I don't know, but it's not, there's a lot of things like since I let it sit for a while that I want to change about it, and I'm not quite sure what I want to change yet. So that's why I haven't sat down to actually finish. But I don't know. I have to, there's face tracking on my phone. So I'm going to move my face down here so you guys can see the whole painting. Yeah. So anyway, while I'm down here, acrylic paints, little ones that I could fit here in this easel. These are just little paints that I have. These are not all my main paints, but these are the little ones, the little bottles that I have. And down here, I have this watercolor paper that I just recently got. And so I have it out because I want to use it. And this is just some works on paper that I recently did during the month of May, and I just keep them to the side so that I can remember to include them in my video for the art that I made in May that's coming up. Okay, so these two A3 sketchbooks I have down here as well because last week I was painting in them and I had them up on the easel, and I figured I would just leave them here since these are bigger sketchbooks and they only like opening them up on my table, it gets a little cumbersome and fumbly. So I rather, when I use these big sketchbooks, I use them on the easel. All right, and so I have over here as well these spray paints that I recently got that I haven't used yet, but I'm excited to try very soon. Very soon. So let's start with the things that are on the wall right now. This is a painting that I did. Okay. This is a painting that I did. I was using acrylic paint and charcoal. Yeah, I used acrylic paint and charcoal for this one. And this painting, hello, this painting over here, acrylic, acrylic, and acrylic. These are all my work. And this is a print of a sketchbook painting. I just really like the owl. I really like this owl. It's kind of cool. And this is a collage from an artist, an internet artist friend, Deborah Woodthorpe. She has a channel and a Patreon, and I'll put that in an Instagram, and then I'll put that in the description below. Go follow her. She makes incredible art and really fun to watch vlogs. So, all right, are you following me? Face tracking? Okay, this is a print of a digital illustration that I made on Procreate. Um, I call her moon. I call it moon meditation. These are just prints from my sketchbooks. And then this is from another favorite artist of mine, Daria. She's a collage artist. She's a mixed media artist. But she does amazing collage work. And her artwork is very childlike, and it just really, I love it. I love um I love childlike illustrations, fun, loose illustrations. But then I also like clean, you know what I mean? Tightened up illustrations too. I don't know. But for me, what I like to create, I like to be messy, I like to be loose, and I like to be childlike. And anyway, her work, incredible. I love it. Daria, she also has a Patreon as well. And I think I'll link that in the description. She has a good Instagram page also. All right, so this I won. This is from another fellow artist. Her name is Takaria Settles. And I met her on Instagram and she had like a giveaway. I entered, I won, and she sent me this beautiful, beautiful piece. Um, this is an original piece of art. Let's bring you in closer. Okay, I'm gonna go on the other side so you can see it because face tracking. Hello, come on, come on. Okay, so this right here came with a book, a children's book. It was a children's book with affirmations. So I bought the book for my kids, but then this came with it as well. It's like an original piece with affirmations and it's like painted on. You could feel the textures to the touch on here. And I love the lettering. I love the affirmations. So I decided to hang it up on my wall because I just really, really love it. Oh, this is a digital illustration that I made, a digital collage illustration that I made in Procreate. I scanned in painted painted papers that I made. I scanned them in and then I brought them into Procreate and I created this collage with that. Okay, so this painting over here is a painting that I did. I started it a while ago and I've made a lot of changes to it since then. It's very abstract, very impressionistic. If you get close, you can see all the textures because it has, you can see the textures here. It has pumice or pumice gel on it. It's like that gritty medium that you can mix your acrylic paints with. So, yeah, this is what I keep on this side of my wall. And then you come down here to my actual desk where I typically sit and draw. Um, Over here, well, you can see my microphone, my podcasting microphone here, because this is where I would sit down and record my podcasts. So I have my markers here, which I always need. Phone stand when I'm sitting here. And over here, I have a few palettes. This is my gouache palette. This is something new, so it'll be like on my desk because I want to, like out of sight, out of mind. I tend to, if I put art supplies like away in a box, I forget about it. So when I get something new, I always want to keep it on the desk so I can remember to use it. So here are some, and also I keep on the desk these new color palette cards that I made. I'm going to figure out another system. I'll probably start a book with color palettes because I feel like the cards are just really messy. And yeah, it works it's working right now, but I know that as I create more color palettes, it's better to just have them all in a book instead of in this loose way. Okay, so this is my studio watercolor palette that I keep on the desk. Another watercolor palette that I keep on the desk, which is an Art Pop watercolor palette from Blick. I believe Art Pop is a Blick brand. So yeah, I really like this watercolor palette. It's good for travel. And here is my markers box. These are watercolor markers. These are watercolor markers. These are Tombows and Faber-Castell dual aqua markers here. But this marker box that I have here are ink markers. These are permanent markers. These are ink markers, archival, you know, Faber-Castell Pitt markers mostly in here. Here, another watercolor palette. I'm a watercolor head. This is what I would take out with me as well if I wanted to. I could do that, or I use it in studio as well. So lots of watercolor. And in this, okay, this document box that I got from Home Goods, I keep art supplies in here as well. And yeah, Neo Pastels, I have, these are actually really great oil pastels. Like, I really like them because they're not too hard and not too soft. For me, they're just the right texture and consistency. And I've tried others, like I have a brand that, another brand of oil pastels that I really like. They're called Monte or something like that. I'll show them to you in a minute. But these are great. So I keep these in here. And then my Neo Color ones, I keep them in these old tins. I keep them separate from my Neo Color 2s because, you know, obviously, because these are not water soluble and the Neo Color 2s are. So I keep them separate. And you can also tell after you get used to using them, you can tell by the consistency of them which one is which. And here are some soft pastels that I keep in here as well, which I need to use more because I really did enjoy using those. And the green palette here. Okay, so I have that, and then these watercolor sticks, Daniel Smith, and Art Graph, water soluble graphite. So I keep those bits and bobs in here. And you know what? I might as well throw these in here too. And my gouache palette. I just like to clear off the table space as much as possible so I could have the most room. So you've seen my watercolor brushes And this is my phone stand. This right here is just ink pens, regular pens, dip pens. You know, I like to use my microns. This is ink. My mechanical pencil. Oh no, that's a pen. Here's an eraser. But oh yeah, here's my mechanical pencil that I use to sketch. My mechanical pencil. So this is kind of like a little catch-all ink and pencil and pen catch-all. This case I got at the Dollar Tree, and I keep my Neocolor 2s in here, as you can see, with a little sharpener there on the side, and this random Inktense block that I can't find a spot for. Okay, and then let's bring it down closer. So here are my pencils, Luminance. These are all pencils that are not water soluble. Okay, so we have Luminance in here, we have Prismacolor, we have Holbein, we have the whole gamut of brand names in here, but basically in here is where I keep all my non-water soluble pencils. And so behind there, my water bottle, my brushes back here. I have some Himalayan salt for watercolor purposes, some dipping ink to use with my dip pen. I have my crystals over here. I have this little drawer set. Let me move these pencils out of the way so you can see. Back here, I have just clips in here, just random things like erasers and pastel tools and washi tape. I have my crystals, my citrine, amethyst, little bonsai tree that my oldest daughter gave me for Mother's Day one year. Black tourmaline and rose quartz right here. Over here I have more random brushes that I don't really use a lot, like detail brushes, so I keep them back there. Back around right here. So these pens right here are my fountain pens, but I usually just keep them laying on my desk like this, because I found that when I have them standing up, they don't flow as nicely, so I just keep them laying down, my fountain pens. And these right here are a little shorter than normal pencils that I tend to not be able to find when I put in here, so I just separate them. These are my watercolor pencils. So you have Prismacolor watercolor pencils and Carandache watercolor pencils in here. This is just a little dish with clips and my little art graph thingamabob. And then another little dish that I keep here with my Neo Arts, the loose ones. Have my little water here. And I have this little mat that I use most of the time. Over here on this side, let me move my gimbal. On this side of my desk, I usually keep my sketchbooks that I'm currently using or that I'm done using but probably need to take a picture or you know, create some content with, but I just usually keep my sketchbooks on the right side of my desk. Okay, here, this part of my desk, you can see my canvas lamp, which I just had the phone on, and this is the camera that I film my overhead shots with, and it kind of swivels back and forth like this, and I can adjust it the way I need to. And then I recently just got this canvas lamp for Mother's Day, so I'm still getting used to it. It is good. There's a lot of hype behind this canvas lamp. You know, I'll just keep reserving my comments until I formulate a really educated opinion, because I just got it. So this cart here is just where I keep, you know, art supplies. Like, here are my Ecoline markers, some ink, some brush pens, more pencils, pan pastels, ink, pens, some acrylic marker, doodads here, just stuff, you know, matte gel medium. I have a bunch of zines here that I made, paper, palette paper, clipboard, things that I just wanted to keep, like original works on paper that are just sitting there. I have some Blackwing pencils over here, and some Derwent palettes here, those little pocket palettes. Okay, so my desk here is a desk that you know, elevates, and in this drawer is like a catch-all of stuff: glue sticks, notes, sharpeners, you know, brush cleaner, tape, erasers, you know, bobblehead toys, all the things. As you can see, I have a lot of stuff leaning up against this cart here, so I don't want to pull it out. This is just like a couple of old paintings back here, and all like original work that's on paper that I just keep them in this portfolio type thing. Clipboard that I use to take out or to use around the house. Some really huge watercolor paper, 18 by 24. Another portfolio thing that I keep like original work in. Another smaller clipboard. Some big pads of paper, mixed media, drawing pad, you know, just like pads, big pads of paper that I use. So getting to the cart that's next to me, down here, you know, is a catch-all of mixed media stuff. My gouache sticks and other palettes, things of that nature. Just art stuff, you know. I'm not gonna pull it all out, but you know, oil pastels. Here is the Ganzai Tambi watercolor set. I have another watercolor set of the De La Roni watercolor set, which is really great. My Inktense blocks back here. These graphite blocks here. and like pencil cases here, paper towels, tape, you know, all the things. Down here is even more of a disorganized mess, but I know what's down there. And I know where everything is, so it's all good. But it's just like art stuff, you know, just crap that I'm just not ready to get rid of. So put that back. I'll roll that over. So this is the view of my drawing desk here. So we come over here back to my painting area where I have the easel. So I usually have the easel this way when I'm not working. I have this little table next to it. When I'm working, I usually have it like this, and the table, and you know, the easel. If I'm standing, obviously it's higher, but if I'm sitting in this chair, then I bring it down lower. Over here, which I should have showed you guys because I was over at this wall. I'm such a bad tour guide. Okay, so anyway, these bottles I got at the Dollar Tree one day because I wanted to set up a still life. Never did. Okay, so this book back here, my Jean-Michel Basquiat book that I got at the exhibition in New York about 2 years ago. And so it has like his work in here, and I'm just such a big fan of his, not only his art, but you know, we share cultural ancestry because, you know, he's Haitian as well. Well, he's half Haitian. His dad is Haitian, and I believe his mom was Puerto Rican. And he did really embrace his Haitian side, so both sides of his culture. So that's that. Oh, and this is another document box in here, and I really don't want to take everything off to show you, but I keep Collage painted papers in this box, and this box was Starry Night. And here's some more Collage paper here. Here's a huge book, a David Hockney book, My Window. This is all of his work that he was doing on his iPad. You know, when I believe he was sick and he couldn't even really work at the time. David Hockney is still alive, by the way. He hasn't passed, but he it's all his iPad work, his work from his iPad, which is very interesting. I really suggest you guys look that up. And my acrylic paintbrushes, not to be confused with my watercolor paintbrushes over there, but I separate them. All right, more books. I have a book here that I got. This book I got from Five Below, yeah. And then here's David Hockney, his Yorkshire sketchbook, which is really, really good. Let me just thumb through it for you guys. Really good stuff in here, guys, really good. David Hockney, a fave of mine for sure. And his watercolor work, as well as Basquiat. So more books here. The book of the tree, Trees in Art, really interesting book. 15-minute drawing, Sketchbook Joy, Sketchbook Challenge, Molly Egan, all these great artists that I came upon on Instagram. Katie Moody's book was recently released. This is a new one. And Enjoy Your World by Sam Dion Baker is a good one as well. This book, Artist Color Inspirations, has really good color palettes if you're ever interested. Okay, so I also have this book that I got a long time ago when I first started my illustration journey of, it's called An Illustrated Life, and it's just a compilation of sketchbooks of artists, you know, one of those books that have sketchbook pages of various artists from around the world. Start Painting Now, Emily Powell and Sour Moore, they're sisters. This is a really, really good book for inspiration. And another that I have to pull out in Illustrator sketchbooks, Martin Salisbury, very good for inspiration as well if you're a sketchbook artist. I still haven't looked through everything of this. Like, this book is so chock full of inspo, guys. Highly recommend. Okay, Start Painting Now, highly recommend as well. You know, I have my Henry Matisse book. This book is one of my favorite children's books, and it is done by Collage. And I just wanted to show you guys the way like the collages in here, so sweet. And this is one of my favorite children's books. I bought it, I got it from the library for my daughter, and we have read this book so many times because the little girl's name in here is Ava. Like, my youngest daughter's name is Ava too, so you know, she immediately took to the book. And but I took to it because I just really love collage, and I've been getting more and more into it. And I feel like collage is a medium that is going to be my medium that I grow into, because I really love collage. And so this is one of the books that when I'm collaging, I look at for inspiration. Another book that I had over there is a hand lettering book that I have. I got this book because I took this woman's Domestica course on hand lettering, which I highly recommend. Another children's book made with collage. This one is Last Stop on Market Street, and I love the collaging in here. Just love it. The illustrations are just so cool. So yes, and this is another book on collage, Mark Harold's. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right because it's Harold's. Okay, but this workbook, you know, that has his work in it, is amazing, so inspiring if you are into printmaking, lino cut, collage, all of the tactile things. You know, he makes, you know, talk about someone who makes their art with their hands. Like, he is super inspiring, and this book what has been inspiring me the past couple of days in terms of my collaging, because I've been collaging behind the scenes, not really sharing a lot of it, just figuring out, you know, my collaging ways, but this has been a real inspiration for me as well. So since I had pulled out all the books, I was like, let me just show them the collage paper that I have in here. Why not? So I have in here cut out collage stuff, this book of botanicals, and everything collage. I have my gel plate here, my stencils. Yeah, it's collage paper and stencils in here. Mostly stencils, to be quite honest. And collage paper. Okay, so down here I have a little bin with all of my acrylic inks and acrylic paints in there. And this little sleeve has my painted papers, my collage papers in there as well. So kind of like an overflow of this. But again, as you saw, there's mostly stencils and my gel plate printmaking stuff in there. But this is where I mainly keep my collage papers in here. Over here I have my pencil sharpener and where my camera battery is charged. In this little bin I have just random things, pencil case, gouache and watercolors, random palettes, just random stuff, little canvas panels, printmaking ink. I have this Carandache gouache palette, which I really like. It's just really huge and I don't know where to keep it. These were my first sets of oil pastels that I got from Michael's, and these are actually really, really good. These are really good. And which kind of was my introduction to oil pastels. Over here on this side, more paint. My acrylic paint palette. And these were the oil pastels I was talking about that I've been using lately, Marte. They're water soluble, but I wouldn't bother if you have these or you get them. I wouldn't bother activating them because it's trash when you when you put water on it. It's trash, I'm telling you. Okay, so don't even bother. More acrylic paints in here, in this bin right here, and acrylic gouache in this little bin right here. You can see all of the acrylic gouache. And then in this bin, all of my markers, acrylic markers, Posca and others, Arteza in there. Just random stuff. My hot gun, you know, gloves. This is where I keep like my drop cloth, things like that. Just random painting things. Over here in this corner, I have some canvases, some used. I have some a tabletop easel over here, which I barely use. Yeah, so this is the little studio tour. My painting corner over here, my drawing desk, and my little art cart there. And you see my ring light. Yeah, so this is her, guys. Okay, guys, so that is the studio tour, and I hope you enjoyed. I hope you were entertained by that fumbly and clumsy studio tour. I was having issues with my equipment, so I had to do what I had to do, okay? So that's it. thank you for watching. Thank you for joining me. Go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already. Like the video, comment, and I will see you in the next one. Okay, take care. Bye.